right, man. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakakbadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing his truth into the four winds. Keep pushing Akim. We almost out of here, man. All right? All right. We're going to go straight into the scriptures, man, and we're going to get straight into it. And we're going to funnel current times through the scriptures, right? This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So we're talking about a day and a time period, because that day represents a time period that can't be likened to another time period in history, and it's in the negative, man. And when it goes into the destruction and deliverance, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So it's telling you it's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's basically the time that the Lord is going to bring judgment upon the earth. He's going to break America and buckle her down to her knees. He's going to show the world things that they've never seen before and things that they can't even fathom and imagine. Okay? Things that they can only think about and imagine in their movies, man. Okay? But he shall be saved out of it. But the elect shall be saved out of it. The patient shall be saved out of it. The remnant shall be saved out of it. The faithful shall be saved out of it, man. Let's get another scripture going into who shall be delivered out of this destruction, because Jacob's trouble goes into the trouble of our people. It goes into the punishment of our people. Coming out of Jacob's trouble goes into the deliverance of our people. And you don't have these things happen, basically going hand in hand with one another. All right? The destruction is going to happen. Jacob's trouble is going to happen. And then the Lord is going to come back and he's going to deliver the elect, man. Okay? But let's deal with JT. It's 11:44. Let me see what I'm going to start with. 2 Ezra 15 and 56. Remember, we was talking about who is going to be delivered. The Lord's chosen is going to be the ones that's going to be delivered. The ones that were faithful. The ones that didn't act like the rest of the world. The ones that didn't do the things that the rest of the world did. The ones that didn't receive and accept the things that the world pushed out, you know? For example, when you talk, when people are getting interviewed and people are asked their opinions about the LGBT community, I see a lot of people pulling punches, man. I see a lot of people saying, I don't care how they live, it doesn't bother me and it doesn't affect me. Do what you do. I just hope that you just live your truth openly in the open. Man, get the fuck up out of here, man. You don't mean that shit. You don't like those people, man. And the reason that you're saying these things is because you don't want to be penalized financially, fiscally. 2 Ezra 15 and 56. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai do unto thee. So what did the people do unto our people? We went through 400 years of slavery. We went through living throughout the world at the bottom of the barrel, being the borrower and not the lender, being the murdered without our murderers having any kind of ramifications, repercussions coming their way, man. No consequences. And that's a scriptural thing there as well. Okay? And shall deliver thee into mischief. So the people that's ruling the world, the Donald Trumps, the DeSantises, the Astors, the Gettys, okay? The Mayweathers. The Mayweathers are not ruling the world, but, you know, leaving out the Edomites and going into comfortably living Jakes. Will Smith lost his house, bruh. You know, you people are going to be in the same condition as the people that made you rich and that you basically laugh at. And when you get mad, you show who you are because you feel like you broke and you do money comparisons. Your fans can't live like you. You don't care about them. You know, you care about pleasing your God, the one that set you up to rule over your fans, the one that set you up to collect these checks. Okay, let's keep reading. 2 Ezra 15 and 57. Thy children shall die of hunger. Your offspring are going to die of hunger. The things that you love the most is going to perish the most. And that's part of your judgment. And thou shalt fall through the sword. So the Lord said you're going to die from violence, one way or another. Thy cities shall be broken down. You're not going to be able to go to Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, New Orleans, Miami, New Jersey, Cleveland, St. Louis, etc., etc. Those places are going to be broken down, and you're not going to desire to go into those places. You're not going to have no civil services, no 911 is going to work, no restaurants, no food, no water, nothing but war zone. And all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. So the ones that call yourself growing the brain, you're going to get out of the city and you're going to successfully flee the city. And you're going to come out into the field, what we call the woods down south. Out west, they call it the mountains. You understand? But it's basically the rural areas. And what the scriptures say, and thine shall perish with the sword in the field. You're still going to die in the rural areas by violence. You're going to have drones representing the government in the rural areas. Different soldiers with tactical gear that blows your mind away, going invisible, taking flight, doing things that kind of defies everything that you were taught. Okay, these are classified um, military tools. So when you come out here to the field, to the woods, call yourself escaping the city, call yourself being woke, call yourself coming out here to meet your God, come call yourself trying to avoid and circumvent judgment. What's going to happen? The scripture says you're still going to die by violence. Esau was still going to kill you. And if Esau don't kill you, these country folk gonna kill you. If these country folk don't kill you, the animals are gonna kill you, bruh. Okay, now we're gonna stick to the sword. But if you just so happen to escape the sword, the animals are gonna kill you, man, according to the scriptures. We're gonna get to that, but let's deal with the sword for right now. Because the sword also goes into famine and pestilence as manufactured, right? Verse 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. So you're gonna starve to death. You're gonna successfully flee the city, and that's a hard task. Make it to the mountains and starve to death. There's gonna be no deer, no wild turkey, no rams, no bullocks, no nothing for you to feed on and eat. I don't care how prepared you are, you think you are. Okay? If you don't know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you're not prepared at all, man. Just keep on reading, man. And eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Now this scripture says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood. Do you think that the scripture is saying that they're going to cut their body parts off and roast it, cook it, fry it, and all of these different things and feast upon it? No. No. And that's why you need people that's ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and not by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, to teach you these scriptures because we're going to break it down the way that it's supposed to be broken down. When you have your first kid, what do you look at him and say? Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, blood of my blood. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, man. Okay? You're going to eat your children, bro. You're going to get so desperate. This is mothers included. You're going to eat your children. It's not the first time that it happened. Let's keep reading. Thou, as unhappy, shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. So you're going to receive plagues again. Now, this is going back into the government and the rulership times of Egypt, of ancient Egypt. We're in Egypt again. Now, you don't understand it and you can't comprehend it, that's fine. You follow the Mississippi River spiritually, we're in ancient Egypt again, bro. The Bible calls this spiritual Egypt. Okay? All our captivity spiritually combined into one, man. So the things that happen to the Egyptian government is going to happen to the American government because the American government is the Egyptian government in the reincarnation, if you can accept that. So you're going to have things that's going on in Los Angeles. That's kind of going into the king's house. That's way above 9-to-5ers. The elites can relate to the people whose houses are getting burned down more closely than regular working people like me and you, man. People that buy tickets to concerts and that thing, like that. So the king's house is being attacked right now. And what you're seeing happen in California right now is a small semblance of these plagues that happened then. And the scripture said they're going to happen again. So it's kind of giving you a recollection. It's kind of giving you and bringing you into remembrance of the things that happened then, because they're going to happen again. Not the rap. I'm going to drop down to 62. And shall consume thee and thy city and thy mountain. All thy woods and thy fruitful trees shall they burn up with fire. Okay? Now, America is ultimately going to be burned with nuclear fire. But before that happens, it's going to be a spiritual burning of this place. This place is going to lose its luster. It's going to lose its oil, so to speak. It's going to lose everything that attracts the other nations to it. Everything that made her handsome. So like everything that made her handsome, everything that made her beautiful, everything that made her delicate is going to be the complete opposite, man. This place is going to be hunger and thirst and want. Okay? 1 second. Let's get some more scriptures. Second Ezra 16, and let me see where I'm gonna start, bruh. I'm gonna start at 15. Nope, I'm gonna start at 17. Second Ezra 16 and 17. I ain't brought this out in a long time, y'all. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And those days are these days. He was speaking back then about the time that he saw in the future. And me prophesying right here, right now, right? These are the days that he saw back then that he's prophesying about right now, if you can accept reincarnation, because he's here. Okay? We're here. Abaratazah was part of that number, man. Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. It says the beginnings of sorrows and great mournings. We see what's going on. We see this snowball effect happening. We see these different domestic tea attacks coming into place, man. We understand and comprehend, even if you don't want to. I didn't say we. That is sleeper cells over here. And that 2025 will get no rest. Okay? It's not. The news gonna be lit. Salaki, hold on. Let's keep reading. The beginning of famine and great death. So the beginning of food being removed from America. The beginning of hyperinflation going into food prices. Man, I went with someone last night taking a ride, and they stopped by Burger King and picked up a cheeseburger and a milk. And when it came out, right, the cheeseburger is so much smaller than what they were a year and two ago. And they still serving it and selling it as if it was back then. We are there. But can you see that milk? That wasn't a regular sized burger. That shit was mini as fuck. The cheeseburger was almost like a slider. It wasn't a slider, but it was on, you know what I mean? The grocery stores are doing the same thing, and you people don't see it because you don't not want to see it, and you weren't taught to see it. You were taught to look at somebody like me speaking out against the system and challenge everything I said. But you weren't taught to look at the system, to look at the Fortune 500 companies and do to them what you do to me. Because if you did, it'd be hard to fool you. It'd be hard to fool you. But since you want to be a dick rider and you want to go with the world, you're not going to see when the world is pulling a fast one on you. It's hoodwinking you, right? It's putting something in you and you don't even know it, man. Let's keep reading. Salaki, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. Now I say it's the beginning of wars. We understand that we are living in a time of wars. Mainstream media is basically only reporting on the Ukrainian and Russian war that's going on, but you have a plethora of other wars that's going on as well. In the Middle East, over there in Africa, the continent that is, and other places as well. And it says the beginning. And the powers shall stand in fear because they're not in control anymore. The narrative has been taken away from them. They're going to have to come to a point to where they start implementing laws and taking away some of your rights so that they can get their power back in place, man. I didn't say us because we are not the same. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What shall you do? Okay. Now we know the evils that's coming. Hunger, thirst, the sword, pestilence, great confusion, not knowing right from wrong. How do we avoid these things? How do we circumvent what we know is coming? How do we get out of the way of that bullet like Neo? We trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We accept everything that the scriptures tell us to accept. And we do everything that the scriptures command and ask of us, man. Okay? Let's get some scriptures on that. This is Psalms 118 and 95. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. Thy commandment is the law. Okay? No matter what happens in this world, no matter who's in control of this world, no matter who's in power of this world, when you follow the commandments and you do what the Lord expects of you to do and commands of you, by you following Yahweh Shem Yahushua to the best of your ability and understanding the Bible in its truth, you set yourself up to be in the same vibration of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he doesn't lose, man. But you got to keep going until the end. You can't let up off the gas. And you can't change your mind on what you believe. Matter of fact, let me go to verse 93. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. So with the precepts of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Lord has made us alive. He brought us from death. He's the reason that we're out here doing the things that we're doing now. And these precepts, these laws are the things that's going to preserve us in the said perils to come. I am thine, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. The law, the commandments, and prophecy is what separates us from the rest of the world. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. So the world has put a system in place for me to not make it. They have put diets in place for me to not make it. They have put illnesses and sicknesses in place for me to not make it. Entertainment, violence, and seeds of murder among my people so that we don't make it. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandments is exceeding broad. Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all day. So you think of the law. You think of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You think of prophecy. You think of grace. You think of mercy. You think of all of this rolled into one enchilada. And you eat it. And you think of discipline. You exercise discipline. You understand that the law was not done away with. You understand that you can't eat what you want to eat, dress how you want to dress, cut off your hair how you want to cut your hair off, and live how you want to live. You can't do it. A pig doesn't have the same laws that a man has because he's held to a higher standard. All right? Through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies. And mine enemies don't have commandments to follow because they don't have no power, what the world will call a God, to follow. How can a white man, so-called white man, be wiser than me, be better than me, be more subtle than me, be mightier than me without a power? What's going to energize that battery? Nothing, because you don't know nothing. For they are ever with me. We live behind enemy lines. I have more understanding than all my teachers because we can now break down the prophecies with the words that they didn't have back then. They didn't have the word missile, right? They didn't have the word technology. They didn't have the word artificial intelligence. They didn't have the word, what you call that shit? Microchip and things of that nature to basically to basically break down the rest of the road in layman's terms, making it what? Making it plain up on tables. Let's get that. Habakkuk 2 from the top. I will stand upon my watch and set me up on the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So we have to study the scripture. We have to know the scripture. We have to study the precepts, know the commandments, know the history, and know the prophecy. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So when the people are breaking down the scriptures, they need the corresponding words of today to correlate with its like words of yesterday. Going in the missiles, when it says flying swords, flaming swords, we understand that they're talking about missiles. And it's a whole lot of other, and I'm just pulling it out the air, and it's a whole lot of other words and word play, right? That we had to wait until we got here for the speech to catch up with the prophecy. Not the prophecy to catch up with the speech. The prophecy was always here. Everything is about timing. Just like people don't understand everything is about bloodlines. All right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So you have to wait for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's time. Not yours. Yours don't mean anything. But at the end it shall speak. So we're in the end, and now we're speaking. He was talking about nuclear weapon. He was talking about the LGBT community. He was talking about Elon Musk technology. Okay? And not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Prophecy is going to happen with or without you. Whether you accept it or not, it's going to happen. Because who are you? And if you believe in prophecy, and you can't wait for prophecy to pop off, and it seems like it's just taking too long and it's not going to happen, you have lost faith. And you didn't wait. You didn't tarry. And you're going to pay. And you're going to receive the paycheck of a heathen. You're going to receive the paycheck of someone that lacks faith. Okay? And you know how that goes. Let's get some more scriptures. In 1 minute. This is Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. I want to bring this out on 2/3 of our people, the majority of our people, and the leaders of our people, the so-called leaders of our people, that hip-hop community and all that bullshit. You know, you got to be, get a hands up from Esau, you know, before you're able to become a millionaire and be a voice, because they need you to be compromised before they put you out on that stage. Birdman, P. Diddy, Jesse Jackson, T.D. Jakes, Barack Obama, which is not even a J, right? And the list goes on. Now this is talking about the wicked. This is Jeremiah 44:27. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. He's not going to protect you. He's going to purposely put you in danger. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine, until there be an end of them. These niggas that can't keep their pants pulled up, that when they hear the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, they got something to say, defending the white man's goddamn kingdom and going against their own and things of that nature, and they niggas at the end of the day anyway. right? Until there be an end of them. And they're going to die. They're going to die in the street. They're going to die of hunger. They're going to die of thirst. They're going to die of pestilence. And they're going to die from war. Because a lot of these young niggas, they're going to go to war. They're going to end up getting drafted, equipped, and shipped. All right? Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah, and all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith the Lord, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my words shall surely stand against you for evil. The Lord is going to show who he is. The Lord is going to show who he is so much that faith is not going to be required to believe in him. And when faith is removed and faith is not going to be required to believe in him, salvation is going to be removed also, man. Okay? He said, I'm going to show you who I am in this place. I got a scripture I want to pull on that I ain't pulled out in a long time. And it's in Jeremiah, matter of fact, because we in Jeremiah, right? Let's stay in Jeremiah. Hold on. I don't know how to work this phone, so I'm trying to go backwards. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to get to Jeremiah, bring the scripture out. All right, this is Jeremiah 16 from the top. The word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. So he doesn't want us to marry in America, okay? Egypt. Because it'll take your mind over if you're not rooted and grounded in this truth. For thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bare them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land. They shall die of grievous deaths. They're not going to make it. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of earth and for the beasts of the earth. All right? So basically, the Lord is telling you, you Americans that's American minded, that's in those nice houses, you know, that's living that nice middle class lifestyle, that forgot about him, that has married in this place with your people and has married with other people. Because at the end of the day, you've taken on the doctrine of the other people. He said you're going to die here because you've taken on the mind frame of these people here. Let's get that real quick in John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. So the things that your father do, ye will do. His constitution is your constitution. His ways are your ways. His punishments are your punishments, etc., etc. His history is your history. And you don't even know your own, Jake. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. See, a lot of people that's not cultured in America, they don't even understand that when you go to other countries and other lands, lying is foreign. It's not something that you just do second nature. Okay? Our people are so thrown and so gone that they've taken on the nature and the customs of Esau Edom. And it's like second nature to them. Let's get a precept on that real quick. This is Jeremiah 10 from the top. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And that's because we understand the operations of the world. We understand that a UFO is a chariot of Yasharal, and we understand everything else that goes on in the world. For the customs of the people are vain. Okay? Chasing hip hop is vain. Chasing success in America is vain. Going after Christianity is vain. Anything other than this truth is vain and is vanity. We were fed lies, and we don't have to continue to eat this shit. Okay? We're living in the time of truth, and it should set you free. Let's get another scripture. John 4:23, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Now we're coming in a time when you got the internet. You don't have to accept no goddamn white Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, what the world ignorantly calls Jesus. You don't got to accept no white Jesus. We understand what the scriptures say. We can go to Revelation and get the scripture where it tells you his complexion. Darker than Wesley Snipes, darker than Michael Jordan, bruh. Get out of here. Why would you accept something like that? Why would you not question something like that? Then when you understand and you see that it's not biblical, you don't question the whole system that brought this in, accepts it, and pushes it. Because you're part of the dead. Okay? And you don't want to accept the truth. Okay? You know why? Because if you're not an Israelite, scriptures like this are going to cut you deep. System builders. John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. We know that that salvation is not universal. And for you Jakes that can't get around that fact, universal salvation got nothing to do with you. We telling you, you got it. Step up. Take the bat. Take a swing. Well, what about my friend? Go sit over there with your friend there. That's what your friend want. Your friend know he doesn't have a chance to even take a bat at salvation. Because salvation ain't something that's given. Salvation got to be worked at. You got to labor for salvation. You got to give up the world for salvation. You can't have both worlds. You can't straddle the fence. You got to make a decision. You have to pick. Okay? Let me get another scripture real quick. What we going to pull? Give me 1 second. I know what we're going to pull. This is Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were hot or cold. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of thy mouth. 2/3 of our people, you have to pick a side. He doesn't want you, well, I'm with them, man, I'm with them. Peace to everybody. I love everybody. Nah, it ain't like that. You lukewarm. Get the fuck out of here. Huh? You can't. It doesn't work like that. Esau's world is not accepted in the spiritual realm. Okay? Quick. It's not accepted. The way that he's able, man, 1 second. 1 second. You have to pick a side, man. Okay? The Lord is not going to let you serve two masters. Let's get that scripture real quick. It's pretty chilly, man. Yeah, it's chilly. It's getting colder as it's getting later. It's just crazy. What the crazy, bro? Go back into Esau wicked ass, man. This is Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to that one and despise the other. All right, so basically, bro, you can't serve two different powers. You cannot serve two different constitutions. And if you try to call yourself being all right, slick, or subtle, your heart is going to lean toward whichever one is more comfortable, whichever one suits you better. I can't speak for 2/3 of our people. I can speak for me. I want rulership. I want power. I want everything that was taken from us. So this fall money, a goddamn place in hip hop, because that's as high as our people get. I don't want it. There's nothing that Esau can give, hand out, or anything else that he does, all his lies and shit, that can make me and people like me, okay, I'd rather out we are the elect, lust after the things that he has. Because we have an understanding of the origin of everything that he has and how he got it. And it's not his. Okay, let's get a precept real quick. It's not his to give. Everything is smoke and mirrors. Matthew 24:24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, that shall deceive the very elect. You can't fool the elect. When the Lord puts his spirit up on a man, you can't fool him. You can't trick him. You can't bamboozle him. You can't tempt him. You can't bribe him. Because he understands spiritual things. And he's operating on a spiritual level. And he's waiting for spiritual rewards. And he's waiting for spiritual backup, spiritual permissions, and everything that's dealing around the fourth dimension. Okay? So he doesn't care what's going on in your world. He follows what's going on in your world to gauge what was prophesied to go on in your world, bro. All right, going into prophecy and going into how the prophets have the advantage, how the prophets have an edge, and how the prophets can't be tricked and fooled, and how the prophets are hardwired to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai and hate Esau Edom, according to the Bible. Okay, now I'm gonna close out, and I hope that this lesson was edifying to somebody. I hope that it woke any elect man up. And I just pray and hope that the Lord accepts these sacrifices that we put up, right? And with that, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harukakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach water to the other. I mighty pushing his truth into the four winds. Keep pushing out, keep form Yasharala, a ball. Until next time, man, we out of here, man. Shalom, Akim. Shalom.